Hi, so today we're training shoulders at Crunch Gym. I've got my two regular training partners today, they're both strong lads, so we're going to start with one of the kind of bigger mass building movements, which is the shoulder press. We're using dumbbells because that always recruits more muscle fibres using dumbbells. You've got stabilising muscles that come into play as well as the main heads of your shoulder. So we'll do this first, start the warm up with lighter weights, and we'll progress up to about 5 sets on this. Okay, so we finished with the dumbbell presses. We're going to move on to what we call the behind the neck press, but we only bring the bar down really to the back of the top of our head, because any further down pushes your rotator cuffs in quite a vulnerable position. Very well known for getting injuries, this exercise, and that's for going typically too low behind your neck. So we're going to the top of the head really, just slightly behind, and we're going to look at rep ranges between 8 and 12. So you can see in most of the sets I do, I'm wearing these. These are called ProGrips. They're fantastic in terms of taking a very good grip on the bar without confining you into what are like traditional gloves. So traditional gloves get sweaty and they kind of can make your hands hot and actually help prevent you take a firm grip. So these are open-handed, so they don't get hot and sweaty, but they're made of a very good leather and take sort of all the bar padding on your hands. It allows you, for me, it allows you to get a couple more reps, so they're well worth using. See, with the way Rob trains, his reps get shorter towards the end of a set. Typically, most people would probably stop at that point where they can't get a full rep. But Rob's been training for many years, you can see, and by doing additional short reps, it allows him to press out past failure, although he's not getting a full range. So the majority of his reps will be full range, and then when he's tired out and you would normally rack the bar back, he's still got enough strength to do partial reps. So that overloads the muscle, and that will help with muscle growth when you're experienced enough to use them. Okay, so now we've hit 2 presses, we're going to move on to the side head of your shoulder. So this is the part that gives you a nice kind of cannonball look to your shoulders, the lateral head. So by working with weights that come out to the side, that's the way we work that. So we're using dumbbell lateral raises as a first exercise to hit that muscle group. The rear of the shoulder now, the rear lateral head, which a lot of people neglect and don't do. So we're going to superset this because it's a muscle that people tend not to do because they can't feel it working. So by supersetting 2 exercises together, you should really get a burn in the rear of your shoulder, and that helps the mind-muscle connection as to working that muscle individually. So we can do dumbbell rear lateral raises, and then we're going to go onto a cable machine and do a reverse cable crossover. So they both pump up that muscle of the shoulder. The key is not to go too heavy so you don't swing the weights around, especially on this move. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a trap exercise. The shoulder heads, the front, the side and the rear have all been addressed with the exercises we've done. So now we're going to work the traps, which is the part that leads from your neck to your shoulders and right down the middle of your back. So I prefer to do these on shoulder day. Some people do them on a back day, but I find back's a much more complex muscle, so I've too many kind of angles on that day anyway. So they fit well for me and my training partners on shoulders day is basically, people do this wrong, they rotate their shoulders around when they shrug, and that's just going to give them an injury. So we just go straight up to your ears and down. If you drop your chin down, you get a higher range of movement. So simple exercise, you go quite heavy. Okay, so now we've finished training. Shoulders, quite a small muscle, so the workout should take under an hour, 45 minutes or so. If it's taking longer, you're basically talking too much. Now what I'm going to do is cardio for 30 minutes on a stationary bike, keeping my heart rate about 60% of my maximum. So if you want to work out your maximum heart rate, it's the number 220 minus your age. That's your maximum. If you want to work your fat burning zone, you look at 60 to 70% of that number. So I'll work a heart rate there, for me about 120 beats a minute for 30 minutes post-training. I also get up every morning before eating what people call fasted cardio, so you use fat predominantly as fuel at that time because you've got no calories in you. And I'll do an hour of cardio in the HIIT style training there, where I'm running for 1 minute, power walking for 2, running for a minute, power walking for 2. By doing that on a flat road, it allows my heart rate to stay in the same sort of zone, about 120, 130 beats a minute. So I do 2 lots of cardio a day, and really that's just keep my metabolism revved up and keep my body fat down. If I was competing, I'd increase my cardio to 3 separate hours a day, 1 in the morning, 1 after training and 1 before bed. But at the moment I'm just looking at bringing it in slowly before I do my next competition.
So you can't scare me with the lights on. I keep on moving with the lights on. So come and play me just one more song.